Have you found yourself trying to use an expression within an existing expression, but it doesn't render properly? Let me show you how to fix that. Here's an example where I have two inputs, which I can then access in my workflow using an expression. But instead, I want to combine them together into a variable, and then use that variable inside of my task here to just save myself repeating myself. But you'll notice that when I execute this workflow, there is a problem here, that it's going to output the log, and it's going to just take those expressions as a string because it doesn't know to evaluate them. Now we can solve this very easily by just simply wrapping our the expression which contains more expressions in render. So now when I save this workflow and press execute, we're going to see that it's going to print out the inputs as part of that variable. But if we maybe have multiple layers of this, maybe the inputs contain a number of expressions as well. For example, here I've changed that first name to be an expression that will get the current time. Now when I press execute, what we'll see now is because render happens recursively, we'll see that it's going to get the value from the input, render that, it's then going to render our variable with the two separate expressions in it, and then it's going to print that out to the logs. So if you only want to render it once, you can also use render once. So in this scenario, we will not get the first name input as expected. That will just print as the expression we have in that value. So here we can see it says now inside of the brackets and then the last name. But if I want to render recursively, I just need to change that back to render. So hopefully this gives you a few ideas on how you can combine your expressions within each other to neaten things up and reduce repetition, but making sure that you can still render them appropriately. Let us know in the comments below how you're going to use this and what else you're doing in Kestra that you could do with tips and tricks on.